doing sports or something, and that pain doesn't disturb you whatsoever. When I went skiing with this, if this is my foot, with these high boots, yeah, which are very stiff, they need to be stiff because you need the strength to turn. Sometimes here, like on the shins, I didn't have skin anymore. But it was okay, we still went skiing. Because that was normal. If somebody would force you to do that, wow, you would put them into prison, they abuse me. But you do it to yourself, you just do it. So then the pain is still there, but it's not unpleasant, because you see it as something that goes with it. Okay, the water element has to do with the ears, and with the liquids in the body, so they start drying up. How many of you have been with dying people? Okay. So you might recognize a few things. That dying people, very often they have very dry mouth, and it's very uncomfortable for them, but they can't swallow anymore. So don't try to make them drink, just wet their lips or something like that. And it happens to us when we go to sleep. You wake up with a totally dry mouth, and the first thing you do is trying to get the saliva back, instinctively. But when you're dying, it's not going to come back. So be aware of that, so that you're not getting frustrated and stressed. This is why we learn this, so that you're not getting stressed when it happens, and you go, okay, now we're here. Yeah. I forgot the inner sign with the first one, with the earth. The inner sign is like a fata morgana. See water where there is no water, because the earth element absorbs into the water element. This is why the water element becomes stronger. And somebody told me his father constantly asked them to dry up the puddles in the hospital room. It was not wet, but he saw puddles, he saw water, So that's one thing. So you have an appearance like a mirage, it is called, like a fata morgana. The second one, so you use your kind of ability to feel pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral from body sensations. So if your body has a lot of pain, then after being disturbed by it goes very quickly. That's good to know. Yeah. I hope it's true. I believe this, but believing is not knowing that it's true, okay? But I believe it. What can I lose by believing it and practicing it? I'm not harming anybody if I believe these things. So when the water element absorbs, you have an appearance of smoke, because the water element absorbs into the fire element. And when you pour water on fire, you get smoke. And that also, he said, my mom said there is smoke coming out of the bedposts. So again, if you know it, you don't need to go like, oh, she's going mad, what's happening? You see, okay, this is where she is now. Yeah. It is rare that people do describe these signs. Why do I know about this? Because I talk about these things to so many people. And then when they recognize something that they didn't know what it was, they say, this is why my granddad was telling us he felt like being sucked into a toilet. One young man said at one point. So I said, yeah, this is what he felt. But then they tried to calm him down. And the more they wanted to calm him down, the more upset he got, because that's what he was feeling. So you have an appearance of smoke. And outer sounds disappear. Have you ever gone to sleep in front of a TV? All of a sudden the sound is gone? Your ears still open? You don't watch TV anymore, I guess, these days. I used to do that a lot when I was younger, I was tired, TV on every evening, in the restaurant, I finished working at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, boom, come up, TV on, lie down, go to sleep 2 minutes later, the TV, blah, 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 my mind making a dream about what I'm hearing, but not hearing, Yeah. So it seems as if you don't hear it anymore, but something still goes in, but you're not hearing it consciously anymore. Okay, then the water element absorbs into the fire element. You cannot digest food or drink anymore. It's the aggregate of knowing differences or discrimination, it is called. So this is the moment where the mind also starts to withdraw from reality, where, you know, you kind of people around you, who are they, what are they doing there, like this, getting kind of going backwards, and you have an appearance of fireflies or sparks within the smoke, because the fire absorbs into the air. When you blow into a fire, it makes sparks. Yeah? So it kind of makes sense, these appearances. Now, how many of you have fainted? Okay, can you recognize something or not? Kind of the earth seeming not so, you know, you come kind of, everything becomes very soft, because I fainted when I was about 21. I just, 2 or 3 times, I just plunged. It was very pleasant, actually. Because, yeah, you let go somehow, yeah? Did it happen to you also? Yeah, you just, it's very soft, and then the hearing goes, and then you start to see sparks, and then that's it, poof, goodbye. And then when you wake up, you feel really good. I still remember that. You feel so at home and so spacious because you've been in the clear light, yeah? But then you see all the faces around you, and then you go, oh. But this is amazing. So many people affirm to me that this is what happens when you faint. I don't remember further than the sparks. You know, I don't remember white or red and all that. So it's appearance of fireflies. And this is the moment when the fire element absorbs into the air element, so breathing becomes very labored. Meaning the dying person could make a sound a bit like this. And in medicine they even have a name for that. They call it a death rattle. Yeah? But the doctors say the patient or the dying person does not suffer. You don't need to do anything, but people who are with the dying person, they're very disturbed. So I think it has to do with water somehow being here and this and that. So your inhalation becomes very difficult, exhalation becomes very long. And the inhalation can go like this. So if you don't know it again and you're sitting there, you get frightened. If you know it's normal, you know, the person is absorbing the fire element into the air element, it's okay, no need to panic, no need to call the emergency, the person is going, let him go, leave him alone, don't go, hey, don't die, you know. I've seen things like this also, dying people, and relatives come in India and start to scream, Papaji, Papaji, and he's like, you know, I said, like, it's amazing what, you know, how much self-concern is involved when it goes, how people think more about themselves than about the dying person. I want to say goodbye. Like, if you feel the person is peaceful, then you not need to say goodbye, that will disturb their peace. Okay, then so the next one is the air element. This is when you stop breathing, so you would be declared clinically dead at that point, but the consciousness is still in the body. And you can feel it by the body not decaying yet. And the signs of decaying are, because most of the people, they die with their eyes open, by the way, and then we come and then we close them. But you would see if the consciousness is still in the body, by the eyes still being clear, and you think that the person is actually looking at you, but they don't see you, yeah, because the eye consciousness has gone. When the mind has left the body, the eyes become opaque, like fish. This is how we buy fish. When the fish have eyes that are kind of with this white cloud over their eyes. Now you all look at me as if you never bought fish. I had to do that when I was in Italy. I was an au pair girl in Italy. I had to open them up and empty the meal, you know, from Switzerland. We don't eat fish in Switzerland. You know, definitely we don't clean them ourselves. So they had to, you know, at least go with the scales and then taking out all this stuff. And then I learned it. I was 18, so it was okay. But this is the first thing my lady told me. If the eyes are like this, don't buy them, because I had to go downstairs when the patient man was coming, you know, screaming with cart and then I went to buy them. Like in the old Italian films, this is what I used to do. So this is why I know it with the fish. Yeah, this is the sign that you shouldn't eat the fish anymore because it started its decay. So also when you eat fish and their eyes are still clear, they don't feel that you're cutting them apart. It's okay because consciousness has absorbed, like the gross consciousness related to the body. Right? So you would be declared clinically dead, but your mind is still in the body, and you can also feel it if you touch here very gently. Then here is still warm. The rest of the body is cold, but here is still warm. So they check that when they realize people are sitting in what is called tuktam, their last meditation, to leave the body alone so that they don't move them when they're still going through the absorptions or are in the clear light. And then, they can either sit, or lie down, and they don't decay. If you don't believe me, if it's still on the internet, if you give in New Zealand and Thupten Rinpoche, was this Tibetan Lama who died in New Zealand a few years ago, I think you can still find it, came on the national news that they had sent doctors and scientists to watch him over 2 weeks or something, that he did not decay. Also the skin with a dead person, if you lift it up, it doesn't go back. The hair also comes out very, very, very quickly, in an old corpse, kind of a few days or a few hours ago. It depends how quickly you decay and what state you are in, outside temperature and all this. Yeah. You see, this is how somebody will talk about us at one point. Oh wow, look at this corpse there. And then they will want to get rid of us as quickly as possible. No matter how much attachment, you don't want to keep a dead body in your house. You want to get rid of it because it starts to smell very quickly. That's the first body that I saw was such a body. Was blowing up and oozing out and smelling like, wow. That was, I had the smell and the image of that blown up face. Every time I would close my eyes, that image came. Why? Because it seems so unnatural to us, because everything is hidden away. We never get to see a body who is a few days old, because it's been shut away in the fridge, in the earth, covered, that's it. Don't want to see. You smell a dead animal somewhere. Yeah? You smell the smell. Like last course, we had the death course, there was a dead bird behind the thing. And then both of them, they were like, oh, what is this? I thought it was a rat, but it was a bird. It smells, and just a small thing like that smells really bad. So you can imagine how a big thing like this then smells. This will happen to all of us. Yeah. So you cannot experience taste anymore in that state, roughness or smoothness, and you cannot perform physical actions anymore. Now the body, like these 4 elements of the body, they're finished. So that's it, the body's dead. But now it's the more subtle energy body who starts to lose the power. The first is like the energy winds that we have in the energy channels, like called meridians. We all know that there are meridians, isn't it? We have all seen meridians. This is why we know that there are meridians. I think we all believe that there are meridians because somebody has told us. Because meridians don't exist so long in the West. Only maybe, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but not more than that. Before we didn't have any meridians. We still had them, but nobody knew about them. Somebody comes and says, hey, your kidney meridian, is it okay? We say, huh? Yeah. But no, now they exist because we believe it. Okay. So these energy winds start to gather. First the one in all the meridians that we have. So first they come up here and then enter the central channel at the crown. How many of you do yoga? Okay, so you know about the 3 channels that we have, yeah? One starting here, going up, exactly. Yeah, these are the main energy channels. So the one is in the middle, and then there's two at the side, which start here. So all the energy winds absorb into the central channel at your crown. And here they say we have something which is called a white drop. And then they just push that white drop down, and you have what is called a white appearance. Yeah? And your concepts that come from anger disappear. I can't remember, I think it's 32. Anyway, altogether 80 concepts dissolve there. Then the energy winds from the lower part of your body enter the spine, or enter the central channel at the base of the spine, push the red drop that we have from the mother. It's not physical drops, okay? Push it up and to the heart here. Then we have some kind of a red appearance, like the clear sky at sunset. These two drops kind of squeeze the indestructible drop here, like they come in there, and they're very tiny, and then they squeeze. Then you have a black appearance, the tunnel, the near-death experiences people describe, the tunnel, and then when these two drops totally dissolve, open up again, then we go into the clear light. It is called the clear light of death. And this is the mind at its natural state. This is what they call the mother clear light. In meditation, when you're very, very concentrated, you have the sun or the daughter clear light, something kind of fabricated. Yeah? And so this is why good practitioners are very excited about dying, because then they say the mother clear light, which is naturally there, meets the sun clear light, and then you start to understand what this is all about. Yeah? The clear light comes, we try to do in meditation, then the clear light comes automatically, naturally. And then if you know what it is, maybe you're able to stay there and meditate on it. And then, when that clear light finishes, then again also people ask me, how long does it last? I don't know. It can go tuck, 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 and you're out. It can last up to 3 days, these absorptions. Like when you know what it is, you can actually see where the person is. Not once the body is finished, then you can't see anymore. Yeah? And then when that is finished, then it goes the very subtle mind, together riding on the subtle wind, leaves the body. You don't see anything, it's not matter. Leaves the body, goes into what is called an intermediate state, where it is looking for a body, like wanting a body. The same as when you don't know who you are, you are grasping, you are wanting an identity, and what gives you an identity is having a body. And then it gets, it enters sperm and egg of an animal or a human or hell being, or hell beings and hungry ghosts said it's like miraculous birth, don't need parents. So all of these states, by the way, are mind states. So don't go into thinking, oh well, hell being and the hungry ghost is just mind state. Human being is also just a mind state. We just think we're real. That's all. Matrix? Very close to the Buddhist view. I know this steak is not real, but my gosh, it is delicious. Yeah? It's all like this. Okay, you want to have a short break, like maybe 5 minutes?
It says in the movie, I know this.
Just a second.
In the movie, it says, I know this steak is not real, but after all this time, ignorance is bliss.
I thought he said that.
So ignorance is bliss. It's kind of like.
Okay. Better not to know that. Yeah, this is exactly, we don't want to know that what we do is just projection, because it's good, it's bad. Yeah, okay, that's what he said. I thought he said okay, but it's good. Yeah, it's even better like this. I don't want to know, but I know it's not real, but I don't really want to know that it's not real, because I want to enjoy it. Yeah? So we can have a 5 minutes break. Just quickly break. Try to be in silence. Yeah, while you need to go to the toilet. Not really tea break, because the meditation will be 20 minutes only, not more. Because I would like you to go through that without any pain. So if you need to lie down, you can, actually. But you will fall asleep. And then you miss your death. You miss the clear light. So if you can sit, that would be better. If you have questions about this, then you know what, once we finish, write them down. We will put them tomorrow.